Movies are objectively, for certain, definitely 100% not up for argument with no exaggeration, the best form of media to ever exist. And that's a fact. Movies help shape us into who we are. Our experiences as individuals watching movies is unique. You know, you could be watching a sad movie at home with your partner. You could be watching a funny movie with friends in a movie theater. Or you could be watching an 18+ film alone and sad, which, in my opinion, is pretty based. See, I'm an expert movie guy. I know how to hit a button on a camera and write, I guess, which means that my opinion is better than yours. So today I figured I'd shake things up a little bit and talk about my thoughts and opinions on some of the genres of film, because nobody wants to talk about film with me, so you, my camera, get to listen to me for the next few minutes. You're welcome. First up, I tend to enjoy horror movies, specifically slashers, as though that wasn't already pretty obvious to you. Stuff like Scream and Friday the 13th are some of my go-tos. It's definitely one of my favorite subgenres. But if I'm being honest, I kind of like to split slashers up from horror films because they aren't necessarily always scary and they follow a more streamlined formula. You know, the killer targets young people, usually a group of them kills off almost all of them, and is miraculously outsmarted in the end by the main character. I based the horror movies off of this formula, and it's not because I hate it. In fact, I think it works. It's just kind of overused. You could say it was done to death. So, to summarize, I think that slashers are one of the main reasons that I like games like Doom. They're nuts, they're violent, and they're fun for the whole family. Not really. Do not take babies to see horror films. Worst mistake of my life.
How could this happen to me?
Why is this even a category? The term is so broad, I could probably use it for any movie, and it would fit. The reason that I put slashers as their own separate thing from horror films is because unlike slashers, I didn't really have a lot to say about horror films. As a whole, I mean. But I have literally nothing to say about dramas. The only reason that I even included it in this video is because it is one of, like, the main genres out there, and I didn't want to get any comments going like, yeah, what do you think of dramas, John? No, you didn't mention anything about dramas. My favorite genre is drama. Stop lying to me. I don't understand why people don't just consider it a subgenre in the way that slashers are. It's defined as a genre where the story is driven by interpersonal relationships and conflicts, but I'm pretty sure that describes every story ever. So, in my opinion, if you see a movie that can just be described as a drama with no other element attached, be prepared for something boring and bland. I have a lot of respect for animation, and I have even more respect for the people who do it. I know a lot of people who animate, and for the longest time, I wanted to be an animator myself. Look where that got me. There are so many different and unique ways to go about it that it might just have the most subgenres out of any genre. Stop motion, CGI, hand-drawn, claymation, live-action animated, anime, and there's probably dozens more that I either can't list off or else it would take forever, or haven't even heard about or seen yet. I mean, look at this. This was something that I made in Scratch Offline Editor 2.0. A coding program designed for children. And people liked it. It just goes to show that entertainment value can come from a lot of places, and for such a visual medium like animation, surprisingly, it doesn't always have to be from equipment or budget.
Can't let you do that, Star Fox.
Ah, yes. Violence. There are a lot of films that fall under action. You got martial arts films, superhero films, revenge films, westerns, I feel like action and slashers do have a lot in common. They have violence and the action scenes have to be high octane, fast paced. The fights have to look cool. A lot of work goes into creating a good fight scene, and it helps when there's a good story behind it, so that it isn't just action for the sake of action. But who really cares about that, right? It's all about them sweet, sweet set pieces, baby. Okay, so I really like this one, because the cool part about it is that it's literally cartoons in real life. In fantasy films like Harry Potter or Star Wars, you've got special effects and the use of unrealistic settings to make things that could never happen in real life happen. I've heard a lot of my filmmaking teachers talk about film and calling it the great lie, because that's what film is. It isn't real. It's an illusion designed to be real, but not. You get what I mean. The thing is, if you think that other films like action are hard to pull off, don't even get me started. In order to create a fantasy film, you not only need to be a very good and very clever liar, you have to be a liar with a pretty damn good budget and a very decent amount of time. Especially in comparison to other films that are grounded more towards reality or are shot in reality. It's by no means impossible, I never said that, but it could take a very long time to reach the real yet unrealistic feeling of something like The Hobbit, or that one dream I had where a girl willingly talked to me.
Tactical nuke incoming!
More films are boring. Unless it's like a historical documentary or something, please stop making them. I don't watch documentaries. What do I look like, a nerd? Don't answer that.
Ooh, yeah, comedy!
Finally, we've reached my favorite genre, the best genre, the funny. Comedy as a whole has defined my love for film in general. I mean, just look at how funny I am. I can walk down the street right now, and tons of people would laugh. I wouldn't even have to say anything. I'm just that funny. Wait, I think that making people laugh is one of the best traits a person can have, and the best part is, it can be a learned trait. And comedy films are very accessible. You can take any sort of story and make it funny. One of my favorite films of all time is Pleasantville, and I think it's criminal how few people know or remember this movie. And if you haven't seen it, I suggest you pause the video right now, go look it up, give it a watch. Regardless of the film, regardless of the genre, movies exist, and that's pretty cool. The best part is anyone can make them, and anyone can watch them, but the worst part is everyone can make them, and everyone can watch them. And that's what I think about movies and genres, and support your local theaters. Okay, bye-bye.